So, we have a character sheet, we have an idea of a backstory. Now it's time to look at how we bring that character to life at the table. Now, how much you want to act in Dungeons & Dragons is entirely down to you. Acting can be very daunting for some people, and throwing yourself into a character can be very scary. But what I will say is this. If you're worried about looking silly while playing Dungeons & Dragons, then I am afraid I have bad news for you. You are going to look silly. Everyone is going to look silly because Dungeons & Dragons is inherently silly, and that is wonderful. It is wonderful in its silliness, and it's so rare that we these days get an excuse to just be silly, especially as we get older. D&D is one of those rare opportunities we get as we grow older to play make-believe, to enter into that world of shared storytelling and excitement we so often did as children. Sure, the themes might be a bit more intense. I don't know how many children really go in for thematic storytelling in their make-believe, and the imaginary stakes might be higher, but ultimately it's a chance to be a kid again, and that's wonderful and silly. For me, one of the most quintessential parts of bringing a character to life at the table when playing Dungeons & Dragons is a character voice. Voices are a fantastic way to differentiate between yourself and your friends while playing at a table, and also help give a level of psychological distancing if you're committing acts in-game that you would feel uncomfortable doing in real life, which I think most of us do. How many people regularly go out fighting and killing? How many people are regularly emotionally open and vulnerable? Sometimes you want to distance yourself from your character. You might be a wonderful, kind, good-hearted person who believes in the good in everyone, but you're playing a twisted, bitter, jaded rogue who only allies people who have proven themselves and will kill without a second thought. Now, you might not want to associate yourself with that kind of vibe, which is perfectly understandable, or you might simply find it easier to get into character if you're able to have that step in. Many people, while using a character voice, have an entry phrase, a thing that they can say perfectly in that accent or that voice that gets them in every time, and that could be a great step in to the wider RP as a whole as well. And this ability to separate yourself would also give yourself that easy in into the RP is where character voices come in. Keeping those degrees of separation can also be very helpful to stop any real-world conflict arising from in-game disagreements. When playing D&D, characters will, and I believe really should, have disagreements, and maybe even arguments. And if you're not careful, it's easy to mistake Oda, the halfling cleric, yelling at you for your character's stance on killing goblins for your friend Kate yelling at you. That's not the case. Now, in these scenarios without a character voice, it's a very easy mistake to make. If you're at a table being yelled at by someone who looks like your friend Kate, sounds like your friend Kate, then it's easy to mistake what the person is saying for what Kate is saying. Take one of those factors away, and you're talking to someone who, sure, kind of looks like your friend Kate, but sounds completely different, and this isn't her voice. So it gets easier to keep yourself sane and avoid getting hurt for real. Now, there are many different ways that you can embody your character through your voice. We're going to look at several of them. There's the all-in character voice, where you do something completely different from how you normally talk and act. Now you can be an elderly wizard who is accompanying his friends to destroy some problematic jewelry. Bilbo, the ring's still in your pocket. Or a gentleman sleuth mastermind rogue who has been corralled into joining this hatcha dance of a sudden incident of the campaign. Now, not everyone can do this or feels comfortable doing this, and that is more than fine. But there are layers to every voice, and if you break them down and tweak just one of them on your normal voice, you can create a very good and clear distinction on how you sound. Now, tone can be viewed a couple of ways. In the musical sense, it generally refers to strength, pitch, and quality, but it can also be used to refer to the general character or vibe of a piece. In the musical sense, we're going to focus on tone and pitch, and then how these can be used to inform the vibe. Now, this is going to be leaning a little bit into some generalization and stereotyping, but traditionally a more masculine voice is strong and a more feminine voice is soft, and pitch works much the same way. Now, this can also suggest age, with younger voices being softer with a higher pitch, whereas older characters might have a stronger voice and a lower pitch. There might also be something of an idea in strength working as a bit of a bell curve when it comes to age. You'll get strong to a point, and then it begins to taper off again as you get older and frailer in a fair amount of circumstances. This is especially useful if you're leaning into the kindly old person kind of voice. Hello, I am Professor Griswold! So we take a soft tone and a low pitch to create a voice like so. Very femme fatale or roguish vibes. Or we can do the reverse. Take a strong tone and a high pitch and create this weird goblin screech. And you can play around with this as much as you like. Change the sliders back and forth until you find something that you like, that you can comfortably do and also fits the character. That is a major part, by the way, of any character voice. Make sure you can do it comfortably. You don't have to do it necessarily consistently, but make sure that it's in your vocal range that you are comfortable with and you can speak in for 4 hours. Because I once did a 4-hour Danny DeVito impression and it was the worst, but also best day of my life. Now this is the big one that a lot of people get hung up on when it comes to doing voices for D&D. And it's certainly the one that I struggle the most in. Anyone who has talked to me or heard me try and do an accent has probably yelled at me to stop. Don't do it. Especially my own mother who, born in Cardiff, has banned me from ever trying to do a Welsh accent in her presence. To the point where I'm scared to do it in the house in case she hears me. Even languages that I can supposedly speak, like German. My German accent is questionable at best. But in Dungeons & Dragons, allow me to let you in on a secret. Germany isn't real. Germany doesn't exist. Wales does exist. Our world doesn't exist, nor do the accents that come with it. A bad Welsh accent need not be a bad Welsh accent, it can be a fantastic New Elfington accent. And I could do some fantastic bad accents, as I'm sure you can as well. And these bad accents are perfect for Dungeons & Dragons, because they're silly, they're fun, and they're always going to be perfect for the world. Be ya overly Scottish dwarves, or your West Country Halflings, or your French Drow, or your RP Elves. Just have fun. That's the key thing that everything in Dungeons & Dragons should really come back to is, are you having fun doing this? Have fun with your voice, with your accent and what you're doing, who your character is. If you want to get good at accents, I'm afraid this is not the video for you, it's not my skill set. There are definitely better videos out there on YouTube. But I encourage you simply to have fun with it and don't get caught up on whether or not it's good. A lesser thought of distinction when it comes to differentiating voices and character voice is vocab, what word choice you're using. And this is a bit of a trickier one to do off the cuff and does require a bit of practice and effort and really research time to get used to. If we take the sentence, Earth is our home and the sun shines down on it. A fairly simple sentence, nothing too flowery or ostentatious in there, but this is me. I'm gonna make it flowery and ostentatious. So let's jazz it up. This planet is our home and the sun beams its light down upon us. This is still saying the same thing, but the connotations of the language changes your perception of the person saying it. Now, when applying this to characters, think of it this way. A character who has had no formal education likely doesn't have a very wide range of vocabulary. They keep very simple terms because that's all they need, but they will likely have a group of very specific, specialized terms they use. If your character was a farmer, they're going to know all the farming terminology in a way that a wizard likely wouldn't. Likewise, you can also deliberately pick words that aren't correct for the situation, make it clear that the character isn't as smart as they think they are, or is all words and no substance. Playing a character like Gilderoy Lockhart is a clear example of this, someone who thinks he's a lot smarter than he actually is. This also provides a potential galaxy brain level of hinting at character backstory. If you have presented your character as incredibly intelligent and smart and posh and noble, but you keep using the wrong word and you don't know which fork to eat your soup with, people might pick up on that and realise, wait a second, you're a charlatan. The way your character speaks can also do so much to inform their personality. Do they speak slowly or quickly? Do they pick each word carefully considering all the options before going with the ones they do, or are they desperately searching for any word that will fulfill their need and will just grasp whichever one they think sounds good out of the air? Do they speak quickly because brain moves too fast, mouth must move faster? Or is it to obfuscate and hide what they're actually saying in an attempt to bamboozle those they're talking with? A lot can be conveyed just in speed, as we have seen, but also how your sentences flow. Do they move clearly from start to finish, unbroken, or are they chopped up into lots of little bits with gaps and ums and ahs and unsurety put within them? Speaking quickly but in short bursts can create an unsettling effect, that kind of scuttle stop like a spider. Conversely, speaking in a slow and steady pace can give a sense of confidence, of ease, of a character that knows what they're saying but is in no rush to make their point. Now, of course, with all of this, I am at an advantage that some people may not have. I have done drama for a large percentage of my life. I've been in many plays, I've received acting education and training, and that is not something that everyone has available to them. And so a lot of what I said is probably could potentially be very easy for me, but not so easy for you. But it's possible with practice. Keep trying, keep working on the voices that you are doing, keep being silly and letting yourself fail. If a voice doesn't work out, you can change it, you can work on it, you can make something different. If you watch any show with voice acting in it, be it a cartoon or anime, listen to how everyone sounds in the first episode and then listen to how they sound 3 seasons in. It's still the same voice that those voice actors are doing, but there are clear differences in it as the voice actor has eased into that role. You're not going to hit gold, likely, straight away, because you're not going to really know what your vocal limitations are until you push them. So keep trying, let yourself be wrong, and then find the mark that you're comfortable with. So that is character voices. I hope you enjoyed that. I think a little bit of a shorter video today, judging by the recording time. I could be wrong, it could all be gold that I've recorded, and you get a 30-minute video. But thank you for watching. Next week we're going to look at character questionnaires as a way to expand your character's personality and backstory beyond pre-campaign prep time. I'd also like to take this time to thank my patrons, Raven Ranger, Mike Duller, and Francesca Forrest, for their support on Patreon. If you would like to become a patron today and get access to these videos before everyone else, as well as exclusive bonus content from D&D homebrews to supplementary material from these videos, please do consider becoming a patron today. There's a link down below. Every little helps, and I will see you next time. Bye! I know for a fact that these bookshelves are really going to piss off quite a few people, but I'm okay with that.